Filipina teenager who has teamed with Alexandra Eala receives wild card for WTA event. Alexandra Eala has put Philippines tennis on the map thanks to her remarkable form throughout the 2025 WTA Tour season. The 20-year-old reached the semifinals of the Miami Open, as well as the final of the Eastbourne Open in 2025. Eala has continued her form into 2026 at the ASB Classic, where she reached the Final Four of the WTA 250 event. The Filipina star has inspired several young stars from the Philippines, and one of them has just received a wildcard slot for an upcoming WTA event. Tenielle Maitis earns wildcard slot for Philippine Women's Open. 18-year-old Tenielle Maitis is a hotly tipped Filipina teenager who earned fame for her involvement in the nation's SEA Games campaign at the end of 2025. She won bronze for the Philippines in the women's doubles event, and now she could join Eala at the Philippine Women's Open. The rising star has received a wild card for the first WTA tournament in the Philippines, which is set to feature Donna Vekic as the provisional top seed. Maitis will join Eala and Janice Tien as fellow wildcards at the event, and it will likely be her first WTA involvement of her career. Eala's involvement depends on how deep she goes at the Australian Open, as the second week of the tournament clashes with the Philippines event. Maitis' involvement has confirmed there will be a Filipina representing at the history-making event in Manila, however. The message Tenielle Maitis sent Alexandra Eala after the SEA Games. Eala and Maitis shared a locker room during the Philippines' phenomenal run in tennis at the 2025 SEA Games. After the tournament, Maitis took to Instagram to share a message to her teammate, who has provided the perfect pathway of how to take the WTA Tour by storm. She wrote, "To my teammates, thank you for the sisterhood, trust, love and support we shared on and off the court. This journey was truly special because of you. My sincere gratitude to my Philippine Tennis Academy family and the board of directors for believing in us and supporting our growth as athletes and individuals." The Philippine Women's Open takes place on January 26 and runs for 1 week at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center. Breaking Boundaries, a Filipina teen's wild card journey with Alexandra Eala. In the world of professional tennis, where every serve, every forehand, and every backhand is measured in precision and poise, the rise of young talent is always a story worth watching. But when that talent comes from a place where tennis isn't the biggest sport, and when it involves not just one rising star but 2 young Filipino women breaking into the elite ranks of the global game, the narrative becomes something much more compelling. This is the story of a Filipina teenager, a determined and passionate athlete whose journey has led to an incredible opportunity, teaming with Alexandra Eala, one of the most remarkable rising stars in tennis, and earning a wild card entry into a prestigious Women's Tennis Association (WTA) event, a symbolic and transformational moment for Filipino tennis. The rise of a new generation. From the first time she picked up a racket, this young athlete knew tennis was more than a sport, it was her dream. Growing up in the Philippines, a country where basketball and boxing often dominate the athletic spotlight, pursuing tennis at an elite level meant finding opportunities wherever they appeared: local courts, school matches, a community that cheered every swing. But what made her journey unique wasn't just the hours on court or the early morning practices, it was belief. Belief that she could not only compete, but excel. Belief that Filipina athletes belong on the world stage. Belief that one day, she too could become a name spoken with respect in international tennis circles. That belief took shape in competitive junior tournaments across Asia, and eventually, in key partnerships and friendships with other young talents. One such partnership was with Alexandra Eala, a name that, by now, resonates not just in the Philippines but across the global tennis world. Alexandra Eala, a beacon of inspiration. Alex Eala's own story is extraordinary. The 19-year-old Filipina tennis phenom shot into the global spotlight during the 2025 Miami Open, where she entered as a wild card entrant and proceeded to write her name into history books. Ranked number 140 at the time, she powered through the draw, defeating former Grand Slam champions including Yelena Ostapenko, Madison Keys, and world number 2 Iga Swiatek, to reach the semifinals, a feat never before achieved by a Filipino player at a WTA 1000 event. Not only did Eala's run shatter expectations, it redefined them. She became the first Filipina to reach a WTA semifinal, the first to beat multiple Grand Slam champions at a single event, and looked set to crack the WTA top 100 for the first time in her country's history. Her achievements resonated back home, inspiring countless young players, including our Filipina teenager, proving that dreams once considered distant could become tangible reality with talent, support, and grit. The wild card opportunity. In the world of professional tennis, a wild card is more than an entry token. It is a symbol of trust, opportunity, and potential. It places players directly into a tournament draw without needing to qualify through rankings. For emerging talents, wild cards can be pivotal, granting exposure to top-tier competition and opening doors that rankings alone might take years to unlock. When the WTA announced that this young Filipina, fresh from years of hard work and promising performances, would receive a wild card into a major event, it electrified the local and international tennis communities. And even more inspiring? She would be teaming with Alexandra Eala, not just as a rival, but as a partner in doubles, as a fellow ambassador of Filipino athletic excellence. For her, the wild card represented countless early mornings, sacrifices, and the unwavering belief that she could belong among the world's best. It was a nod not only to her individual journey but to the emerging stature of Filipino tennis itself. Teamwork on the grand stage. Training for such an event requires extraordinary preparation. Beyond physical conditioning, the serves, footwork, agility, endurance, there's a mental component. Reading opponents, staying focused during critical points, and building the trust that only strong doubles partners share. With Alexandra Eala's experience on large stages, from junior Grand Slams to the Miami Open spotlight, she brought invaluable insight and composure. Our young Filipina, inspired by Eala's calm under pressure and keen strategic mind, absorbed every lesson. Together, they became not just a duo on court but a symbol of Filipino pride and unity. Their matches, filled with precise volleying, fierce baseline rallies, and strategic net play, told a story of harmony between rising talent and seasoned youthful excellence. More than a tournament, a movement. This wildcard entry wasn't just about one event. It signaled a broader shift in how Filipino athletes, particularly women, are viewed in the world of elite sports. Tennis, a sport historically dominated by players from Europe, North America, and Australia, now saw representation from Southeast Asia that demanded respect. The impact rippled beyond tennis. Young players across the Philippines began picking up rackets, dreaming bigger than they had before. Local tennis programs experienced growth,